If you want to improve your social intelligence, it requires a mass repetition of social interaction. A massive, massive, massive repetition of social interaction. I've likely approached 30,000 people over the past 20 years. That's like a basketball arena full of people. Now, my success, it's astronomically small in proportion to that, right? So I maintain a positive attitude because I know I probably won't work out, but it can work out. So again, number one, you got to quantify the results you want. Number two, you have to get a clear-eyed understanding of the demands. Number three, and this is a big one, you need to understand how your inhibitions are preventing, how your conditioning is inhibiting you from acting in the ways that would get the result. Why can't you do it? Because look, let me tell you something. I'm just a very average person. There's nothing that I'm doing when I go out that you could not be doing right now. There's literally nothing. I'm like 5'7.5". I'm just some average dude. Dick slightly above average, but aside from that, very, very average. Like only slightly, but very average in pretty much every way. I have a bigger vocabulary than some people, I guess, but aside from that, there's nothing that I'm doing that you couldn't be doing right now. I just do it more consistently. I just do it much more consistently. You know? And I'm at the point where if I go out, about 80% of the time I go out, I'll go home with somebody. Now, of course, that doesn't mean like, it just means I'll like go to a second location with somebody. But that's literally very, very, very achievable for anyone in this room. Like anyone that's competent will get that result. It ain't no thing but a fucking chicken wing. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing but a routine. Again, understand how your inhibition is your conditioning is inhibiting you from acting in the ways that would get the result. And then this, of course, begs the question, what is to be done about all of this? What is to be done about it? Anyone? Bueller? Well, you have to develop some sort of methodical exercise process that's going to permit you to chip away at these inhibitions and let go of them over time. Because look, it's not going to happen overnight. What are some common inhibitions that'll prevent people from getting results? The 5 biggest mistakes I see people making socially, so simple. Number one, they're not smiling. Why? Because they're not enjoying themselves. Okay? It's an elbows in the mud walk through the fire of the soul. They're putting themselves through the fire and the flame. There's certain waypoints along interactions if you're trying to move from A to B, whatever that is, from like open to close the sale to open to XYZ, like whatever it is. What is the first step? What do you say? Open? Okay, you'd think that. Step one is you must enjoy yourself in the environment. You must enjoy yourself in the environment. That is a prerequisite. If you cannot enjoy yourself in the environment, you will fail. You will fucking fail. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just the messenger. But if you're not enjoying yourself in that environment and then you plaster some fake fucking smile on and go up, what's going to happen? Again, you're going to get a couple minutes of polite conversation. People are going to leave. Then you're going to do this. As soon as they leave, shuffling around again. Oh, there's another person talking. Slap on a fake smile again. Hey, they leave. Because what's happening is you're seeing people having fun and you're trying to weasel your way into their fun. You're trying to weasel your way into their fun. And you're like, please give me, you're leeching energy. You're like, please give me good feelings. Please give me good energy. If you respond well, my night will be better. If you don't respond well, I'm a fucking loser. I fucked up. I failed. I'm diminished. I'm lessened. My night has gotten worse. Okay? So this is a needy, competitive energy. It's a competitive, needy, desperate energy. There's perhaps no more unattractive quality than desperation. If it's serious, it's a big deal. There's gravity to it. It's a big fucking deal. People are like, no, I want no part of this. I'm out here, particularly, again, if it's like a nightlife environment, they're like, I'm trying to enjoy myself. I'm trying to unwind from my stressful work week. Anything that does not contribute to that will be summarily dismissed. Okay? So again, a much better approach would be to do what? First, find something in the environment and genuinely start enjoying yourself. You know, the other weekend I was up in, where the hell was I? I was in Tampa, Florida. We went to this country western bar. You know, they got the mechanical bull, all that. I'm not a big fan of this type of music. However, when I'm there, I'll be the biggest cowboy there. I'm like, save a horse, ride a cowboy. Save a horse, ride a cowboy. Oi, come here. Da-da-da, ha-ha. All right, I'm laughing. I'm moving to the beat of the music. I'm moving to the rhythm of the music. Why? To stave off physical tension. Because that physical tension, it will creep up on you and grab you subliminally. Once you're in the grip of it, it's very, very difficult to shake it off. Very difficult, because it will be subliminal. There's a number of things like that could happen. It could be jaw clenching. It could be breath holding. It could be shifting from foot to foot, generalized shoulder neck tension. Could be fiddling with your cuticles and fingers, hands in the pockets. There's a billion things it could be. But once you're in it, it's very, very difficult to get out of that. So I want to stave that off, because I understand that if I don't do that, I will have the tendency to get locked in there too. And let me tell you something. When I first go out, when I first hit the street, I will frequently feel a strong reluctance to go introduce myself to the first person. Very strong reluctance. Why do you think that is? Well, shit, Jeff, you've been doing this 20 years. You still feel that? Yeah. Why? Well, it's instinctual. It's also like a resistance to state change. There's like a homeostasis. If I'm I've been sitting around all day, maybe editing a video, or I've been, doing some work or something like that. And now it's time to switch from that to super fun, party, fun guy, happy time, Jeff guy. It's time to switch from this to that. Well, your brain's like, I feel fine right now. If I start acting differently, I might not feel fine. If I go talk to these people, I might not feel fine. Don't do that. No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Your brain's like, shut the fuck up. I don't want these promises. Give me the proof. Proof, not promises. So much in the same way, it's been pretty cold recently here. Maybe your heater hasn't been on. In the morning, you wake up, you're cozy in bed. But it's 10 degrees colder outside the bed. Are you scared to get out of bed? No. But you're like, I'll have to experience mild discomfort for 45 seconds. I might as well just stay in here and doom scroll TikTok. Next thing you know, 2 hours have been wasted of your morning. So you know what, again, in this analogy, you go out, you're like, it's comfortable here, just standing here, talking to my friends that I always talk to. I don't want to go introduce myself to random people. That could be uncomfortable, right? I understand that. I understand that that's what's going on. So what do? Slide my feet out of the bed, stand up, brr, throw on my little sweats, fucking make my coffee. Okay, I start the day. So for me, I understand that I have that tendency I understand that sort of predilection that my brain has. So I want to give it the proof. What do? As soon as I enter the environment, I'm going to have a quick 20-second conversation with some random person. Like some dude, some old guy, some random person that I have zero vested interest in it working out well. I'll just be like, hey man, how's your night going? Just a 20-second conversation. What's that going to do? It's going to give my brain the proof. I'm not vaporized. Oh shit, I'm still here. I'm still corporeal. Wow. Okay, time to terrorize. When I say terrorize, I mean just go around and start enjoying myself. Start having fun. And then once I get into there, it's like, oh yeah, right. It's like I remember. I'm like, oh yeah, right. I'm hilarious and awesome. What the hell? Duh. And then it's time to go. And then once I snap into that mode, all bets are off. Okay, so again, you got to have some sort of systematic exercise process that's going to allow you to chip away at that. And that means what? That means going out. There's other ways to do. There's other things you can do. So there's a difference between exercise and performance, right? So I also do a mentoring, and the mentoring will work on various areas that go into charismatic communicating. Let's call it charismatic. I was going to say communication, but let's call it communicating as an action. So what are some of these areas? Number one, just your face, voice, and body. When I say your face, what do I mean? Are you expressive in the face? Most people are highly inexpressive in their face. Highly, highly inexpressive. They have what I call facial armoring, where, and of course this makes a lot of sense. It's like an inability to hold eye contact for one. It's just a seeming inability to smile naturally. A sort of guarded sense where you can't tell what they're thinking or feeling. And it's sort of, again, an inability to paint with the musculature of the face. Because understand, at every moment, you are sending packets of emotional information with your face. Your face is always in play. Even if you're trying to have this impassive look, they're always going to perceive something. People are going to perceive something. Now, the problem is, if they can't tell clearly what's being like thought about in the mind's eye, it can send out a danger signal. Because they're like, dude, I don't know if you want to kiss me or kill me. You know, are you fucking serial? You think about stabbing me? You think about fucking me? What's going on here? Like, I don't like this. It's unnerving. All right. Beyond that, you got to understand, eye contact, sort of your eyes will outline, will create a line drawing of the thought process in your head to other people. And then the musculature of the face will sort of color that line drawing in with emotion. So you need to be able to ideally paint with the face, you need to know what you're sending out, and you need to have like a fine control over the nuance of what you're sending out with the facial muscles. That's number one. Number two, body language. What's your proximity? What's your posture like? What are your gestures doing? What is the physical touch communicating? Then, of course, there's the voice as independent from the vocal tonality as distinct from verbal meaning. Okay, verbal meaning. What do the words mean? Vocal tonality, how are you saying them? So you can see right now, even as I'm up here right now, as I'm saying these things to you, I have a wide variety of, like a wide variation in the language musicality I'm employing. The pitch is different. The rhythm is different. The volume is changing to an extent. The tonality, so, I'm coloring it. Even these things like what I'm doing right there with my hand, that gesture, whatever the fuck that was, I'm not planning these things in advance. The control is happening in process. So this is a big issue. Everyone wants to control, like, what do I say? What do I do? What do I say? What do I do? You have to give up predictive control to gain in process control. So what does that mean? It means like sort of letting go of needing to control everything you say intellectually and allowing intuitive energies to take over. What is intuition? What is that? What is intuition? Well, yes, knowledge without knowing. The intellect can only work with information that's been dredged up and is actively in the cognitive working space. Intuition can work with information that's not consciously available to you right now, but that's been stored in your brain. It's memory, but it can just pull it out. So people don't trust intuition. Why? It's devalued in our educational system. What does the educational system focus on? Rote solutions to different problems, memorization, things of that nature. Intuition is given kind of short shrift. But if you look at somebody somebody who works in the financial markets, what do they have? They have technical analysis. They look at the balance sheets. They evaluate companies that way. They also have to rely on things like gossip, psychology, gut feelings, word on the street. To be effective in that domain, they need to have access to both of those things, hunches. So I like to think of it as intuition and intellect as two pipes going to the same faucet. So when I'm out, I will hop between applied reasoning and just allowing free flow. Right? That's how I'm able to, when I'm out, I can just talk. You can give me any topic and I'll pull some anecdote out of my ass. Boom, it'll be relevant. It'll be interesting to an extent. Hopefully it'll take them on some kind of emotional journey. Boom, off of it, ask them an open-ended question. At the end of that, boom, 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 boom. I will never run out of things to say. Ever. 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 You know what the limit is on how much I can say? When the fucking meat here breaks. The noise is coming out of my flapping fucking meat hole. It's like this avalanche, this jazz odyssey of bullshit that will never stop. Now, because I understand, number one, people aren't attracted to the content, they're attracted to the feeling, right? And so again, I'm going to paint that vibe with what? That vertical vibe that makes people say, this is a good feeling. I want to talk to this person. RAS? Here. This is different. This is interesting. This is outrageous. This is hilarious. This is poignant. This is something, but I gotta look here. Look here. Look here. And again, you craft that with your face, your voice, and your body. Trophy.